Randy, you guys have struggled on the penalty kill, which was sort of a calling card of your club. Anything you're looking to do to fix that?
Well, I guess, the difference in the game, they were able to get 2 power play goals, which, we've been pretty stingy in this series and through the regular season. But obviously we made some mistakes with the puck tonight, and I think the first one was a rebound that Chara got the shot through, and then they pounced on a rebound, and then the other one was a backdoor play that we were out of position on. So we've got to do a better job positioning ourselves and get our people in a position to clear the pucks. The rebounds shouldn't be, second opportunities, and specifically the first one.
Randy, despite the mistakes and an overtime goal, do you think your team deserved better tonight?
I know that our work ethic was strong. I know that we played the game at a pretty high tempo. I know that the one thing that's disappointing is we had a 2-goal lead, and then we give 3 straight up, but then we came back, found a way to tie the hockey game, and I thought in overtime we were attacking, and we were definitely taking the puck and the play to the net, and that's what we designed. And they were, in our minds, we were doing a lot of the things that we needed to do, but we made a mistake.
Randy, as a coach, are you ever afforded the luxury when your team is playing as well as you did in overtime of having that thought, we're playing well, it's just a matter of time for us?
I've been around this game a long time, and it seems that doesn't really matter in overtime at times. It's one bounce, one shot, one rebound, one deflection, one fluky bounce in an arena, one block. It's all the ones that go against you, and you can't afford to make mistakes that lead to odd man rushes. And we turned the puck over deep in the corner, and then we pinched and gave them an odd man rush, and they scored a short side goal. And that's to beat us, and that's kind of like a dagger. It feels like a dagger after the effort that was put forth by our group. It was a man's hockey game out there. It was a lot of energy and a lot of physical play, but that's the way the playoffs are played. That's the way it's supposed to be played. And we just have to find a way to bottle everything the positives that we put forth in today's game and bring that for Friday in Boston.
Is there any word on the condition of Mark Fraser?
He's gone to the hospital for a CT scan. Obviously, they're going to check for any broken bones, basically in the forehead area. I haven't got any report yet. Obviously, he's going to need some stitches, and there's a plastic surgeon here ready to do that. But they have to do a scan on him first to make sure he doesn't have any fractures or any broken bones in his face.
Mike?
All right, Randy, you've talked all year about building an identity with this team. Now that these guys are 4 games into the playoffs, they've had an overtime under their belt. Are they getting it? Do they realize what's at stake and what it takes to win these kind of games and win in the playoffs, and why those messages are so important?
Well, we hope they are, and you really can't. They can say they are, but they have to prove it, and that's the one thing about pro sports is you experience the playoffs, and you're involved in the emotions and the excitement and the intensity of the games, and then hopefully your younger players learn from that experience that they have to keep it as simple as possible, especially like a guy like Matt Frattin tonight. I didn't think he had a very good first half of the game, but then he came on in the game, and he was a real strong difference from his first half of the game to the last half of the game, and that's always a bright spot when you see a young player get involved in the game, had a few chances at a back end, hit a post, was around the puck, all those things, and that's hopefully a sign that he's developing and getting a better understanding of what it takes, because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of extra effort to get those chances in the playoffs.
Randy, tell us what it is about the way David Krejci has been playing in this series that's giving your team so much trouble.
Well, he's a real smart player. He might be their most skilled player as far as pure skill, and he's around the puck. And if you look at their 3 centers, you got Krejci and Bergeron and Chris Kelly, and then the Campbell. They're all pretty good checkers, and they're good face-off people. So they start with the puck a lot.
Randy, after Mark went down, you seemed to lean quite heavily on Jake Gardiner, who obviously struggled to get in the lineup for much of the season. Can you talk about how far he's come in his development for you to trust him like that?
Again, we ask our players to provide us with some things that are staples, and for us with Jake, he's taken off on another step. He's closer to where he was before versus where he was after he come off the injury, and has not been as erratic with the puck, and he's very noticeable when he's carrying it and moving it, and that's what our expectations were for him to come when we started the season, but from our perspective, that wasn't happening out there. And, unfairly or fairly, that's what we judged, and we make decisions based upon what we read from the situation that the players put into it and how he performs. And some people don't agree with me, but I don't really care at this point.
Bruce, Randy, as a coach, you try to control so much, you try to keep things under control. But in an overtime like that, in a game like that, what's it like for you watching when every chance can end it?
I try to be as calm as I possibly can, but you're inside, your guts are churning. Simple as that. Every shot that's directed towards the net, the emotions are up and down. When it's against you, your breath's taken away, and then when you've got one for you, I found I was climbing on the bench more times than I'd ever done. But that's the excitement that's there on the bench, and that's the adrenaline rush that you do get when you're at ice level. And being a former player, I've always said that's the closest thing to being a player is when you're a coach.
Great. Thanks, Randy.
Right.